Hey guys, what's up? Check out this big origami mess that I just made. These are the rough drafts to the new model that I just designed, and here it is. What is it? It is a freestanding zigzag marble maze, and this is how it works. It's folded from a single square of kami, and the marbles just go right down it like this. And there it is. This marble run is folded from a 10-inch square, and I divided it into 12. And that's pretty tricky. I'm going to show you a slightly easier version. I just divided it into 8. And what's cool about it is that it lies flat. And here it is. And this is how it works. Want to learn how to fold it? Ready, set, here goes. Alright, so for this model I'm going to use a square of 10-inch kami, and you could also use a square of 6-inch kami or printer paper cut square, but for clarity I'm going to use a 10-inch. So let's start white side up and let's valley fold in half, but let's just make a pinch mark right on the left side, and let's line up these two corners and make a pinch mark on the right. And let's make this pinch mark about 1 inch in length. Okay, and let's unfold. And now let's fold this corner to this pinch mark and just make another little pinch mark right there and unfold. And let's fold this corner to the pinch mark. And this time, let's make another little pinch mark and make it nice and sharp. And unfold. And let's label this point where this crease mark hits this edge. Let's label it A. And now let's rotate 180 degrees, and let's do the same thing on this side. So let's fold this corner to the midpoint and make a little crease mark and unfold, and let's fold this corner to the crease mark and make a really sharp crease mark and unfold, and let's rotate 180 degrees and let's mark this point where this crease mark hits the edge. Let's label it point B. Okay. Now we're going to do a little tricky fold. We're going to fold the bottom edge up so that the edge touches point A, and we want this corner to touch this crease. So like that, and make sure that on this side it touches point A, and when everything's lined up, make the crease. Just flatten it and make it sharp. Okay, now let's rotate 180 degrees, and let's do the same thing on this side, but on this side it's really easy. We just take this corner and fold it to this corner. And voila. Alright, let's turn over top to bottom, and now let's fold this corner to the midpoint, and let's just make a little crease mark right on the white triangle here, and unfold, and now let's fold, now let's zoom in, and let's fold this flap up so that this corner touches the crease mark. And we want the fold to be parallel with this edge. So make it go all the way across. And on this side, the crease is going to meet with point A. So just fold it right there. Like that. From this side, this is what it should look like. And let's rotate 180 degrees, and let's do the same thing on this side. So let's fold this corner to this point, and just make a crease mark, and unfold, and let's fold this point right here to this crease mark, and fold parallel so that it goes right through this point. And crease it sharply. And now let's zoom out and turn over top to bottom, and let's unfold these two flaps and rotate 90 degrees clockwise. And now let's fold in half. So let's fold this edge to this edge. And unfold. And now we're going to divide into fourths and eighths. That's to make this model. If you want to make the one that I showed first in the intro, then you would want to divide this into 12. But I'm going to just show you how to divide it into 8 because the model is a little bit more reliable in that the marbles aren't going to get stuck. Now let's fold this edge to the crease. And unfold and rotate 180 degrees, and let's fold this edge to the middle. And unfold, and we have divided into fourths. Now let's divide into eighths. So let's fold this edge to this crease. And unfold, and let's fold this edge to the nearest crease. And let's leave this flap folded, and let's rotate 180 degrees. And now let's fold this edge to this edge. And unfold, and now let's fold this edge to the nearest crease. And unfold both flaps, and let's turn over top to bottom. And now we're going to make a series of valley folds that zigzag up all the way to the top. So let's start with this fold, and let's fold from this point. Let's make a valley fold that goes diagonal and ends up right at this point. So here goes. Okay, so that's what it should look like. And now let's make this pleat. So let's make this valley fold and this mountain fold at the same time. So it's a pleat. And when you do that, you see this right here should be concave. It should indent inward like that. Okay? So that's what it should look like. And now let's make a valley fold that goes from this point to this point. And what we can do is just take this flap and fold it up. I guess I better zoom in. Okay, so we're taking this flap and we're folding it up, and it goes from here, and we want to make sure that it ends up on this point. So fold it up like that, and sure enough, there it is. Okay, and unfold. And now let's make this pleat with this mountain and this valley. So it's like this. Okay, and this should be concave. It should dent inward. And let's fold this flap up so that the valley fold goes from this point to this point. Okay, and unfold, and let's continue. Let's make this pleat with this valley and this mountain, and this is concave, and let's fold this flap up so that the valley fold goes from this point to this point. And unfold, and let's make this pleat and fold the flap up so the valley fold goes between this point and this point. And unfold and make this pleat and make a valley fold between this point and this point. And unfold and make the pleat here, and fold the flap up so the valley fold goes between this point and this point. Like that. And for the last one, let's just rotate 180 degrees. And let's just make this one separately. So just make the valley fold go from this point to this point. And unfold. Okay. Now let's try to collapse the paper on the existing creases. So make the zigzag, and this becomes a valley, and just kind of accordion pleat it like this. All the way up, like that. And try to flatten it as clean as you can. All right, and let's unfold. And now we're going to make a set of zigzags that go along this line. They zigzag like that. And they're going to be zigzag mountain folds. So let's start right here. Let's pinch a mountain fold that goes from this point to this point. So it just goes diagonal on this rhombus, like that. And when I pinch this, you see I have my finger behind to provide support. So I'm really pinching on my finger like that. Okay, so there's the zig. Now let's make a zag. We're going to fold between this point and this point. Just make a mountain fold. So I have my finger in place and just pinch the mountain fold. Okay, we have zigzag. Let's make another zig. And let's just continue all the way down. Zag. Zig. Zag and zig. Let's fold it right to the corner, like that. And for this one, I don't really have an exact guideline. Well, we can just fold it from this point to this point, unless you want to try to make it identical to this angle, but I wouldn't worry about it. We'll figure it out later. Okay, just like that. And there we have it. Now let's do the same thing on this side, but it's a little bit different because we're following this line. So we're going to make our first zig that goes from this point to right about here where this crease mark hits this edge. It doesn't need to be exact. Okay, but it should go to this point. And now let's make the next zag. Let's make it from this point to this point. So let's rotate. And I have my finger there and make a zag. Okay, we have zigzag and just go all the way down. And lastly, let's make the fold go from this point to this corner. Okay, and now let's just kind of make the folds stand out a little bit more. Make sure that there's no glitches. You can push them together a little bit. And it's almost done. Let's just lift these flaps up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is where the marble will hit the wall so that it won't fall off the path. And let's do the same thing on this side. Just lift these edges up. And this can be lifted up. And this can be lifted up. Okay, so here is the marble run. This looks like it's kind of down a little bit too much. I don't know exactly why, but let's bring it up by making a fold right along this edge. We're just adding it like that, and that brings this path up a little bit more. And you can still fold it like that. You just want to have some incline going down like this. Yeah, that should be plenty of incline. You don't want too much or else the ball will just roll down. Okay, so let's test it out. And the ball that I'm using is actually a bead that I got from a bead store. I'm sure you can find beads at most craft stores. So, okay, so we just roll it down like that. So that works. All right, now I'm going to show you how to collapse it flat. You don't actually need to collapse it flat. I mean, if you like it like this and it works, then that's good. But I think it's neat that it collapses, and it also makes it more transportable. So here it goes. Let's fold on these pleats right here on the path, like that. And now we just need to flatten each segment individually. So let's start with this one. Make sure that this pleat stays in place and flatten it. And notice this crease is going to change. It's going to become a different fold right there, like that. And now let's bring this pleat together and let's start to flatten here. And notice we're changing this fold. It goes like that. It's just how it wants to lie flat. We're just basically forcing it flat, but we're preserving these folds. These ones stay put. That's the important thing. Okay, so now let's do this segment. So let's make these folds and let's flatten it. You see this fold gets changed and it flattens. Like that. And one more. Let's make this fold and make sure that this pleat stays in place and flatten it. So there we have one side, and now let's do this side. So make the pleats and flatten and flatten. Try to make it as clean as possible. And flatten. And okay, here's a little bit tricky. But you want to try to follow the same pattern. So this fold right here should be parallel to this fold. So it's like that and flatten. And there you have it. And now let's open it out again. And you see it looks a little bit messier because of these extra creases, but this edge is still flush with the table. And same over here. Okay, so let's see how it works. Let's lift this part right here so that this first segment is sufficiently inclined. And let's check it out. Boop, boop, and it works. Oh, by the way, if it doesn't go all the way down, if you just flatten it out, then it should go all the way down, yes. And to make this little catcher thing, all I did was I took a 6-inch square and I divided it into fourths. And put a little tear right in the top, and holding it like this, pull apart, and take here and make a little tear. Okay, and first make the opening. So this is where the marble or bead is going to enter. Like that. And you don't actually want to make the fold lie too flat because otherwise the bead might roll right over it. Okay. Now let's fold this flap up so that this edge aligns with this edge. And let's fold this flap up so that this edge aligns with this edge. Try to make it look kind of symmetrical. It looks kind of like a bell to me. In fact, it can be a bell, and let's try to make a little thing on the bell to make it look more like a bell. So let's pull it out and make it into a rabbit ear. And unfold, and let's fold this point to the intersection of creases. And let's remake the rabbit ear. And let's squash it. So there's the little bell thingy. If you really want, you can round it out a little bit. I'm not being very neat here. Okay, so there's the bell. And now you just stick this thing under here. Oh, make sure that the flaps are up a little bit so that the ball doesn't escape. Okay, and stick it under like this. And let's try it. Ta-da! And there it is. All right. Oops, it got out anyway, and I'm gonna have to find it. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed folding this marble run and enjoy playing with it. And have fun with your marble run. Woohoo! Uh-oh, I just made a mess. By the way, it won't work if the marbles are close together. Oh, yes, it will. Ooh, wow, it went down the marble run. Now I have a big mess to clean up. All right, see you later.